information. Jam-packed show today. Peloton up 5%.
What's up, disciplined investor?
We got Benzinga CEO Jason Raznick here with us.
The man, the myth, the legend, Tom Nash.
Peter Schiff on the Power Hour with us live today. Interesting, different, unique, innovative companies. Mia, you are live with us on the Power Hour. What's up?
Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Jessica Billingsley, that is the CEO of Akerna, the best trade idea resource out there. Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. We are clipping through the week. Jam-packed agenda today, as always. I'm going to start today off the way that I start every single day, which is to remind you guys what the point of this show is, and it is to be the best trade idea resource out there. We want there to be literally no better way to get the trade ideas flowing than by watching this program every single day. So if we are not delivering, don't be scared. Don't be a wimp. Call us out. Talk shit in the chat. We're totally cool with it. I might talk it back. But that's how the Power Hour goes, guys. On the docket for today, we are definitely going to talk about Coinbase. As promised, I did actually bomb out of my Voyager Digital yesterday. Yes, the stock that I've been in forever. My favorite ticker to talk about. You guys aren't going to hear it as often anymore. Bombed out of it. So we'll get to Coinbase. We'll get to the sympathy stocks there. I want to talk Alibaba. I want to talk Space, Virgin Galactic. I want to talk New York Times, and then we're going to be selling a ton of covered calls today. I have 7 options contracts in the live account that are expiring. There we go. 7 options contracts in the live account expiring tomorrow. So we're going to go look at all 7 of those contracts. We're going to talk about how we are handling them. But today's very special show, and today is special because it's Thursday. Thursday is one of my favorite days of the week. But today's very special show. We've got a sponsor for that. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that sponsor video.
Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by Majd Maqsad. He's the CEO of Status Money. Majd, thank you so much for joining us and doing this interview. How are you doing today?
Very good, very good. Thanks for having me, Michael. We want to operate at the intersection of social media and personal finance. Most people don't talk to their friends, their family about their personal finances, but within Status, you can actually communicate with a growing community now of 400,000 people. There's been a major misconception about what personal finance apps do, and there was a misnomer from the very beginning. There's never been management involved in personal finance apps. If you continue to do everything that you're doing right now, how are you going to look when you retire?
Boom. There it is. All right. I like it. Make sure you go check them out, making today's show possible. And guys, if you are just joining us, quick little preview of what's to come. We're going to go over 7 options contracts in the live account expiring today. We're going to talk about Space. We're going to talk about Baba. I'm going to put on a new short position. And we have some very special guests. We're going to be talking charting, 12:15 Eastern. So what is that, 10 minutes from now? And then we actually have the CEO of Esports Entertainment, ticker GMBL, coming on live at 12:30 Eastern. GMBL, the company went ahead and acquired an Ethereum miner. It's actually an Ethereum miner for individuals. So super interesting deal. We're going to be talking to them. But, I mean, let's open it up today talking about Coinbase. Yes, I know. Coinbase. I'm going to share my screen. It screwed us all. Share screen here. There we go. All right. Boom. All right. Screen is shared. All right. Here's the 2-day chart of Coinbase. They didn't hold the line, okay? We drew the line in the sand at the beginning of the week. Basically what we said is that the price that Coinbase needs to hold is wherever it opens for trade, right? That was $381 yesterday. We said Coinbase needs to hold that. Otherwise, the whole sector, the whole space is going to be in for trouble. That was the line I was watching closely yesterday. I did have a very large position in one of sort of the Coinbase sympathy stocks. That's Voyager Digital. Let's pull that chart up here. VYGVF. Down another 6% today. Brutal 2-day run. And so yesterday, when Coinbase could not hold this price, the 381 price, and we started seeing the momentum pick up onto the downside, I went ahead and I bombed out of the Voyager shares. So again, that was my largest stock position. It is no longer. I do expect to get back into the stock at some point in the future. I've got no position on right now. It's like one that we preached. We got into live on the show at around 50 cents a share. Still over 20 today. But we'll wait for the bleeding to stop a little bit. And I want to throw this one out to the chat. For first stock of the day, let's talk about it. Coinbase, ticker COIN. Where is everybody at on this stock? If you guys like this stock, throw me the 1 in the chat. If you don't like it right here, throw me the 2. Nobody can sit on the sidelines, all right? This is not like Switzerland hanging out, during a war, right? You've got to pick one way or another. You either like Coinbase or you don't like the stock. Right now, the price is $3.34 on the dot, just about. I'm the 2. I'm the 2 waiting side of things. I see Born to Be Free saying waiting 2. That's where I am at as well, guys. I think that we could be in for a little bit more pain. Again, with the stock not holding its open price, it's questionable for me. Let's also go off of the research, right? There's been a lot of academic research that's been done that's showing that IPOs or new. It was about IPOs, but let's treat direct listings the same way, right? There haven't been a ton of them, but generally speaking, IPOs way outperform on their first day of trading and then underperform over the course of that first year. Right. I mean, look at any of these high profile stocks that we've had recently. You look at Facebook. I'm going to pull up a chart of Facebook here. We're going to look way back. We're going to look at all-time chart of Facebook. Oh, whoops, wrong button. All right, here's the all-time chart of Facebook. Right, you can see in this first several months here, down bottom left corner of the screen, Facebook struggled. Right, it took about a year to get back to where it was for its IPO, and obviously it's been a monster since then. But that's the way that it goes more often than not for IPOs. Again, that's not me saying that and making a casual observation. That's academic research has shown that's the case. If we want to do a quick valuation check here on Coinbase, let's take a look at that. We made a really nifty Excel sheet on the show yesterday. If you were here with us, that basically laid out where the valuation is at. Let me just go ahead and pull up that table real quick. It's on my Twitter. All right, here it is. All right, so the stock is at, let's get a last price here on Coinbase, $334. So it's priced somewhere around $85 billion is what the valuation of the company is, with it trading at 334. So if we do a quick 85 billion divided by the annual run rate of revenue is about $7.5 billion. The stock's trading at about 11 times sales, right? It's not great. It's not crazy, right? The initial rumor was that Coinbase was going to come out at 50, 60 times sales. So the multiple isn't insane. But again, because we could not hold that open price, I'm going to sit on the sidelines on this one personally for a little bit. I did bomb out of my Voyager Digital shares when we saw Coinbase give that up. Turned out to be the right move for at least today, VYGVF. Again, this was my largest stock position. Finished yesterday down 14%, another 6% today. If we go ahead and we click through the group, you see Mara's down. You look at Riot. Oops, there we go. Riot. Riot's down. You look at SOS. Right, SOS is down. You look at EBON. Right, EBON's down. These are all 2-day charts that we're just rallying through here. So that's the deal, guys. I'm hanging out on the sidelines for these ones. Again, if you've been following me on this Voyager for a while, I did, like I said on the show yesterday, I said if we can't hold the price in Coinbase, it's going to be rough for the sector. We didn't hold the open price. I bombed out. And again, it seems like the vast majority of the chat is sitting on the sidelines as well. If you're just joining us, we asked a quick question. It was put a 1 in the chat if you would go long Coinbase right here, put a 2 if you'd hang out on the sidelines. Vast majority of you are feeling similarly to me, just hanging out on the sidelines. It's obviously going to be one to watch. It's going to be highly traded. It's a big valuation company. So who knows? Maybe we'll be getting into it next week. So we shall see. Next up, let's move over to options. Let's do options for a little bit. And guys, if you are just joining us, I'm going to make the first ask of the day. The ask is go ahead, smash that like button, share this stream. Because again, the point of this show, the reason why we spend these 120 minutes together every single day, it's a lot of time, a lot of free content that we're putting out there. We do it because we want there to be no better trade idea resource in the world, right? Benzinga is all about being actionable. It's about us being on the front lines with you every single day. So smash that like button, share the stream. Let's get more people into ZingerNation. I mean, let's get this community going. Drop the stocks that you're looking at in the chat there. You know, I see somebody's talking about Rocket. Obviously, a ton of speculation about Coinbase. But all right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull up my live brokerage account. Here it is. This is my interactive brokers account. We look at it every single day, right? In addition to us wanting this to be the most actionable show possible, we of course want to make it the most transparent show possible, right? I don't know anywhere else. You'll see all these guys talking about stocks that they're trading and what they own. I mean, every day, you literally have the live account up on the screen available for everyone to see. And today, I want to talk about options because I have 7 contracts which are expiring tomorrow. So I want to talk about these contracts, how I'm handling them. We'll hammer through the tickers real quick. We got SPY, support.com, Visa, Neo, Palantir, Triple Qs, and UMCW. All right, that's the deal there. Or I'm sorry, this Triple Q, this is a stock position, I believe. Yeah, this is an option contract. All right, it's just hanging out in the group. But all right, let's start with SPY really quick. So SPY, right? Unrealized. This is the unrealized column here, right? SPY down 100%. This was our hedge that we put on the portfolio. We spent a decent amount of money hedging the portfolio a few weeks back. We were having some days where I was waking up and literally down 10 grand in the live account that we're looking at here. Doesn't feel great for that to be the first thing that you see in the morning. So we went ahead and we dropped the hedge on. The hedge didn't do anything for us. The market has continued to rip. Should I have rolled it earlier? Yes, I should have. Was I lazy about it and that ends up costing me a few $100? Yes, it does. But that's the deal there. Support.com. Let's go ahead and talk about support.com to your SPRT. This one's coming right down to the finish line. And let's zoom our chart back a little bit. All right, support.com. Bringing them up to the front of the class. So anybody who's been watching this show for a while knows that I love to hate stocks that mislead investors. When I say they mislead investors, I'm not saying that they're doing anything fraudulent, right? Don't come out here and sue me. But when I say they mislead investors, I hate businesses, that have some legacy business. That's a good, legitimate legacy business. And they come out and they say, wait, ignore that investor community. We are now something else, right? It's like a good old bait and switch that Spencer Israel gives me every day. Okay, so support.com, right? Let's look at this chart. Obviously, on the left-hand side, you see a big-ass green candle here. That's because their business of providing customer support services, they said no more. That's not the hot story anymore. We are now a Bitcoin mining play. When you think support.com, the first thing that should come into your head is Bitcoin mining. I don't like when companies do that. Kodak, yes, Kodak is the king of doing that BS. I love to hate Kodak as well. So on that day, I went ahead and I bought puts in support.com. I picked, when the stock was way up here at this $8.50, $9 price, I went ahead and I bought $5 strike puts. Way down. They're expiring tomorrow. Last trade on the stock is $4.05. We are up a little bit on this position. Let's see. The unrealized right here, we're up 33%. I am going to let this one ride. Is that the right thing to do? I don't know if it is or not. But I'm feeling like a little bit of a gambling man coming into this Friday. Again, it's $5 puts that we own on support.com. You know, betting this SOB down. I'm gonna let it ride. I think stock's at 405 right now. Up 33%. Of course, anything can happen, especially on a small cap stock. People are saying to roll it. I'm gonna throw it out to the community, guys. If you think that I should close the trade now or roll it forward, buy myself some more time, hit the 1. If you say just leave it, let it ride, hit the 2. I want to see where the community is at with this one. The mature thing would absolutely be to go ahead and roll it forward, right? I agree. I see We Bet Wall Street saying roll it. You know, I agree with We Bet Wall Street. I think that is the mature and probably just correct answer. So maybe we'll do that. But yeah, and some people are saying YOLO it too. All right, we'll see. How about we do both? We could go ahead and buy some more time, leave this one on, so we just let it ride tomorrow, and it's a big YOLO FU trade to support.com. I still love to hate this stock. All right, stay tuned. We're gonna check on this one throughout the show. We see that the stock is coming into a line of support right here, right? We've got the previous lows after the pop. The stock is sitting right there. If the stock breaks below that, I think it will have room to fall. So there's the deal there on support.com. We'll watch this one throughout the show. Maybe we'll double down. I don't know. We know what the mature answer is. We're not here for the mature answer. All right. So we'll see there. And guys, these other contracts that I want to get to, we have a very special guest who's going to be joining us in just 20 seconds now. I want to bring him onto the stream, but stay tuned. If you're just joining us, I've got a new short position that I'm going to be putting on today. And we still have 5 more options contracts to talk through how I'm going to be managing these with 1 day left to expiration. Again, 7 contracts in total, not 7 contracts, 7 securities, right? In total that we have contracts expiring on tomorrow. A lot of them are covered calls. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to sell some more covered calls, preview, sneak peek. But again, stay tuned. We're going to be looking at support.com. We're going to be looking at these covered calls. Smash the like, guys. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring our very special guest. Sharky, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Doing well. How about yourself, sir?
I'm doing all right. Tricky market these days for a lot of people, but I hope everybody's surviving.
We're making it through. We're just sort of having a little bit of fun, doing some serious trading, investing. But what's been up on your radar?
Not too much. It's been very interesting. I came from the small cap world, and those are absolutely getting crushed right now. So I've been trading a lot of options. That's really been my focus. Still been pretty risky, in the current market environment with SPY at all-time highs and interest rates and bond yields going crazy. So it's there's been a lot of factors in the market right now. Macro and so it's been interesting, but it's been a learning experience, hopefully, for a lot of people.
Absolutely. And I guess before we really get into it, you mentioned you come from the small cap world. Can you just give us an idea of your background, how long you've been trading for, what the style is, etc.?
I've been trading for a little over 3 years. And originally I got in, I was trading small caps, low float stuff. But then I started getting more interested in options. And was just got into that, fell in love with that world, and that's really been my bread and butter recently. So,
okay, all right, I like it. Any particular tickers, symbols, charts that are on your radar today?
Well, no, not so much. Particularly, I mean, I do have a position in DraftKings. It was down 7% yesterday or 2 days ago. On some good news on the sports, legalization in New York, which didn't make any sense. So I grabbed some calls down there for May, but other than that, I'm playing it pretty close to the vest, because with SPY where it is right now, and it's kind of uncharted territory. But something I did.
All-time highs,
Something
baby.
But something I did want to mention, because the market shifted a lot from, a few months ago when you could, call out anything and make a lot of money. And now the market, has become a lot more, choppy and volatile. So, I just personally wanted to say something to, people that are struggling right now, not to give up, to size down if you are struggling. Don't try to, make back those gains in one trade or two trades. The market's not going anywhere. So there's always time to reset, and keep grinding. I just think that's important, just from the stuff that I see on Twitter. I know we were seeing, people posting massive gains every day. Everyone was having a party. Everyone was a professional trader,
It was a blast.
But it's not the same. So, for those that are struggling, for those that got in and at that time saw and thought it was so easy, because the same thing happened to me when I first started trading. I got in, everything was going up and it was so easy. And then I blew up my account, So, make the market work as hard as it can to take your money. The biggest thing is not losing money in the beginning. So that's the really main thing. I know you have another guest coming on, soon. So that was really the main thing I kind of wanted to touch upon for people, and give them a little encouragement to stick with it.
And let me ask you this. I want to dig in there because I think it's a really important point that you're making. Do you have anything in particular that you do when you're having an especially shitty market or trading day? Like, do you just go to all cash? Do you turn off the computer? Do you try to reset and trade it back? I mean, advice for folks who you're having a bad day, a bad week. How do we pull ourselves out of this slump?
I would say that, sizing down is a big thing. Back in February, I was, kind of telling people to go, more in cash. I kind of liquidated a lot of my positions and went more cash heavy. But more on a micro scale, something that I find really helpful is, say you have a data set, right? 30 trades, let's just say, a 30 trade sample.
Yep.
If you are still losing, you're trying your strategy for these 30 trades, and you come out on the losing end. First
Yep.
off, what I think traders do is they're at 5 trades and they'll change their methodology. They'll switch something up. They'll start to meddle too quickly without giving yourself a big enough sample size to really, kind of understand the true dynamics about what's going on with your strategy, however you're trying to trade. So after you have those 30 points, those 30 trades, find your biggest loser, and go back to that trade and look at what you did with the errors that you made in your biggest losing trade out of those 30 trades. And then what you can do is work on that one mistake for your next 30 trades. Now, here's the rub. Say you made 3 mistakes in your last trade. Maybe it was oversizing. Maybe it was FOMO. Maybe it was, poor risk management. So maybe you made 3 mistakes on that really big loser. The rub is that you can only pick one of your errors.
Okay.
And work on it for that data set. For your next 30 trades, you work on just that one error. And after you do that, you have a high probability of not making that same mistake again. So, of course, it would be great if we could do work on each error, that we made in that big loser. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You have to tackle each one, and, try to be a little better each day. So that's a cool strategy that I like.
I love that. And I think it's applicable not just to trading, right? And I think I stumbled into what you're teaching us on accident today. And that yesterday I had like a shitty day at work. Like, it was one of those days where I worked my ass off. And like I just like I'm exhausted, and like I didn't accomplish what I wanted to do. And woke up today. I said, all right, if I'm going to get one thing done today, it's going to be this one thing. That's if I get that one thing done, I'm going to feel good about today, and today's going to be a win. And so I think I accidentally stumbled into exactly the advice that you're giving us out here, where, you know, if we're missing, focus in on that one lesson, make it small, make it achievable, and make sure you rock that one thing.
Yeah. And then, you know, those small steps, you know, build up a bigger, you know, foundation over the long term. But when you try to build the roof before you got the foundation, it doesn't work.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to hop on with us. Come say hi. You know, give us that important shout out. Super important shout out.
I appreciate you guys having us on, and I wanted to give a shout out to you guys for having me on. And yeah, totally. You don't have any of your cool noises today. What's going on?
I'll show you. Check this out. There's no producer Rohan today. I know, man. All right. The one day you come on is the day I don't have noises, okay? I'm dying too. You're dying. Our next guests are going to suffer because we don't have the sound effects. So yes, it's a little bit difficult.
It's all right. It's all right. Hey. All right. Well, again, thanks for having me on. And I wanted to say what's up to all the sharks out there listening. So what's up, guys? Auto in the tank. So, all right, guys.
All right, take care, man. Thanks for coming on. And Happy, help us out. Drop the social links in the chat so I can stay in touch with Sharky.
Yeah,
we'll do. In there too.
All right, Shark Tank. Let's go.
Let's go. Right. Peace, man. All right, guys. I dig it. Not just ideas that are coming today. We're also talking some trading psychology. If you're just joining us, stay tuned. I have 5 more options trades expiring in the live account tomorrow, so we're gonna be talking about those. I want to put on a new short position. I want to talk about space. And before we get to all that, even something more important, we have a very special guest joining us today. One of our favorite stocks in the chat, Esports Entertainment, ticker GMBL, CEO Grant Johnson joining us in just a moment here. They have news this morning, so let's bring him on to the Hello, Grant. How are you doing?
No, I can't get my tech to work on this platform. I don't know how to get the green screen to suit your suit the format.
All right, you don't have your green screen. I normally have a soundboard. I don't have my soundboard today. You know, our producer Rohan, he's just gone. There he is. His desk is just empty. I don't know where he is. He's just not here. So it's a whole another item. But you know what? I appreciate you joining us, and especially on a day where you guys have some big news. But before we hop into it, for anybody who isn't familiar with the company, could you just give us a background, please?
Sure. Esports Entertainment Group. We're traded on the NASDAQ under symbol GMBL, stands for Gamble. We run multiple gambling sites over in Europe. We have Sport Nation, Lucky Dino, Vi.bet, and we'll be launching Vi.gg, which will be the first licensed esports betting site in North America, launching in New Jersey later this spring. Pretty excited about that. And we've been hitting the news a lot lately in that we've been partnering with a lot of pro teams, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Patriots, and of course the Denver Broncos.
What about my Detroit Lions? The Lions don't make the cut yet?
We're just getting started. We're not finished. We're just getting started.
All right, good.
We're talking to about 22 teams right now for bringing in a platform. And we're working with the LA Kings and Philly Union and LA Galaxy. So it's not just the NFL. That's the biggest league, of course, but we're working with the NHL, Major League Soccer, and we're in some conversations with some NBA squads as well. So it's a pretty exciting time, of course, for us. Being able to align with those brands is, it's flattering, frankly, to be able to provide services to their fans and work with them. And with our new acquisition that we're working on with Helix and GG Circuit, Helix brings some expertise and uniqueness in as well, because they have a gaming center attached to Patriot Place. With Craft Sports. It's the largest esports facility associated with a traditional stadium anywhere in North America, and that's 14,000 square feet over there. So we're excited about that too.
All right, so it's a lot going on. I know that we're rolling into some playoffs. Right,
Yes.
we've got NHL and NBA. Does that have any sort of impact for you guys?
Oh, well, it does. Yes, we're working with the Kings tournament is launching LA Kings next week. So the playoffs makes it a bit confusing. Yes, the fans are more engaged with the team, but they're more focused on the product on the ice, of course. But we're starting to get some solid excitement around joining on because the fans get to play for, prizes of the team, signed jerseys, sticks, helmets, tickets.
That's awesome.
So that's a big incentive for the fans.
Absolutely. But all right, let's get to the news out today. You guys announced a deal. Can you take us through that? And then a follow-up question I have is this the first foray into crypto, or are there other ventures that already exist?
Well, this product that we announced today, it's a result of quite a bit of work with GG Circuit and Helix. They've been working together on how to make the gaming centers, LAN centers, more efficient, particularly driven home when COVID struck, of course, and people weren't able to go to the facilities. So you had all this expensive, high-powered gaming rigs that weren't being utilized. And, Zach Johnson and Jack Vandervelde got together and came up with a really creative software package that effectively, when the gaming rigs, the PCs, aren't being used, they turn into revenue generators. And they do this by going out and mining cryptocurrencies. And they have the ability to pivot depending on which cryptocurrency is trading at what level. So they'll pivot between Ethereum, EOS, Monero, to whatever one's most profitable. And they mine the currencies. And we're rolling this out throughout the larger GD Circuit infrastructure, which represents 1,000 LAN centers with tens of thousands of PCs. Will all be out there mining cryptocurrency. So it's really unique. It's the first time that it's been done, and we're really excited about it.
Okay. And so I'm like known as the slowdown guy on this show. So let me try to back it up and make sure I understand properly. But basically, what the product is going to do is allow individuals like who could be myself that own a gaming computer to mine cryptocurrency off that computer when I'm not using it. Is that an accurate summary?
Well, you're not completely wrong, other than you'd have to be a GG Circuit client.
Okay.
So it's more for the LAN centers.
Got it. Okay.
And clients of GG Circuit. So if you're a GG Circuit client, you've got GG Circuit Home, GG Fuse, etc. If you have their software platform, then yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right. That's interesting. And in terms of competition, I mean, is this like a mostly untapped space? Are there several competitors out there? Can you give us an idea as to what that looks like?
Well, certainly there's crypto mining, operations, probably all over the world. And this it's probably important to clarify. They don't mine Bitcoin. They mine, basically all the other cryptocurrencies. Okay. Because it requires I'm told, and if you want to really dive into the technical components, we'll have to bring Zach Johnson or Jack Vandervelde or John Brackens on the line here for you to really dive into the weeds, so to speak. But there are certainly other groups have been mining cryptocurrencies for years. This is the first time that it's been used this way with these gaming computers, because gaming, it's not a normal laptop, it's not a normal computer. These are $3,000-$4,000 high powered gaming computers that if you own a LAN center, and certainly during COVID you were suffering badly, but if you own a center, if somebody's not gaming on your computer, it's sitting dormant. So the idea here was, let's turn that into a perpetual money generating, a little ATM that's just sitting there for you, generating revenue for your operation. And as I mentioned, they've been working on this for several months, actually a year now, effectively, since COVID changed the way we all think about things. And it's been being tested throughout the Helix centers for several months now, just working out any bugs, making it more efficient. And it's finally, as we announced this morning, it's ready for rollout the beginning of next month throughout the larger GG circuit infrastructure, which we're talking tens of thousands of these PCs will be mined, and we will be reviewing and sharing in all of that. So I'm excited.
Is your deal to take over GG circuit is closing within the next couple of months, correct?
Yes, absolutely. GG circuit, Helix, Genji. We're excited about that because they bring a lot of unique expertise and technology into the company. GG Circuit is by far the largest infrastructure software that runs LAN centers. Most of the companies you would know, Helix, of course, obviously, Amuka in Canada, Vendex, a number of the big operators run off the GG Circuit software. So that was important to us. And Helix, what we really liked about the way they run their operation is they have done an excellent job at running. Well, they have 5 centers, 2 of the biggest in the United States. And the Helix Center over at Patriot Place was perfect for our vision of partnering up with the pro teams, because that was the largest working example associated with a traditional sports organization and how it can be extremely profitable. And it was extremely profitable, of course, until COVID. But those brought a number of other unique elements to our company, because we have online, the Esports Gaming League, which is the tournament platform online. We have, ViGG, Vi.bet. We had all the other components, and this just really rounded out our technical stack and gave us a completely vertical integration of services, which is why the pro teams are partnering with us. We've got the whole menu, and they can just check off of the menu what they want to bring, and because they recognize that video gaming, esports is what the majority of their young fans, they all play. Actually, all the players are gamers. So a lot of the guys on a lot of the pro players have Twitch streams, and they'll have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of fans that follow their gameplay. So it was kind of a no-brainer, really.
Absolutely. Grant, I appreciate you taking the time to come on with us today, walk through the deal. One last question I have for you. What should we be on the lookout for next? What's the next thing investors should have on their radar and be excited about?
Well, I can't get into specifics, of course, as you know, but we've been pretty consistent and aggressive in both our M&A strategy as well as our partner strategy. I think it's fair to say there'll be more of both.
Okay.
Coming.
All right. You're giving us something.
Keep in mind, it was a year ago yesterday. It was our anniversary. We went on the NASDAQ a year ago, and at that time we were 12 bodies and, so just one platform, and now we're 128 souls, and we're going to, next year we'll hit 70 million in revenue. So it's been a hell of a ride, and it's just picking up speed.
Awesome. All right. I like it. You give us something to look forward to. We're going to be watching all the press releases come out. So Grant, I appreciate you coming on, especially on a daily today, or you've got a big announcement coming out. So thanks a ton.
Absolutely a pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. All right, guys. How about that one? Ticker one last time, GMBL. That's Golf Mike Bravo Lima, Esports Entertainment Group, favorite of the chat. That was CEO Grant Johnson coming on with us today on the heels of their new product launch for a company that they're acquiring, expecting it to close within the next couple of months. And all right, everybody, a couple updates if you're just joining us. Producer Rohan is gone. I don't have sound effects today. There's no soundboard. We're just winging it mostly. We're YOLOTradingSupport.com. Producer Rohan, I said to him today, I said, instead of sitting here for this hour, these 2 hours that we do PowerHour, go study how these other YouTube channels do it. All right. It's like we have the same 500, strong members of ZingerNation every day, which I love. Right. I mean, that's what I'm all about. But like, we want this community to grow. So I said, it's a waste of your time to sit here, go figure out how we really build this thing into a rocket ship. I'll figure out how to do the technology like by myself. Did I start a couple of minutes late? Sure. Figured it out. Everything except for the soundboard. So there's one update. On a more serious note, what we have coming up ahead of us today, we've got some options contracts to talk through. So I have 5 more options contracts that are expiring tomorrow that I want to get to. If we have time, let's get to BABA. Let's get to a new short position. Then let's get to Virgin Galactic. And of course, guys, I'm going to make 2 asks. 2 asks of you guys, of Zingers. If you're watching with us, you're hanging out today, you are a member of ZingerNation. The asks are: smash that like button, share the stream. Let's get the community going, and then maybe producer Rohan can come back tomorrow. But right now, it's not looking good for him. Matt Hammond in the chat saying hi. Huge wins on the eBet IPO today. He previewed that one. Everybody, give a round of applause for Matt Hammond yesterday. He was trading the Coinbase IPO with us live, or I keep saying IPO. Direct listing live with us yesterday, and taking us through all the trades that he was doing, right? He was basically adjusting his limit orders and talking through what he was doing into the Coinbase debut so he could get some of those early shares and let it rip. 4 out of 4 on IPO plays today. Let's go, Matt Hammond. That's what I'm talking about. We got to figure out a way to get more Matt content going in the Benzinga ecosystem. That's awesome. But all right, guys, there we go. We got some rounds of applause for Mr. Matt Hammond there today. And let's click over to this live portfolio here. I'm going to put it back up on the screen, and let's keep talking about options trading. All right, picking up where we left off. Support.com. We decided that we're going to watch this one throughout the show today. We might close the trade. We might let it ride. Let's pull up the chart of this thing. Dang it. It's catching a bid, guys. We called it out. We said it's sitting right at this previous level of support, $4 on the stock. I want to see it fall through that thing and keep running. We might just YOLO the options contract, let it ride through tomorrow. Feeling risky. Is that the right decision? Probably not. I also might double down and buy some puts, maybe like around like a $3.50, $3 puts at a little bit further of a date. So we'll just keep an eye on this one, especially while it's sitting right at that level right now. Other options on the radar. So Neo, we bet against Neo. We lost. Whatever. Fuck it. We lost a lot of money on Neo. But I'm going to call out ticker V, ticker PLTR, and tickers UWMC. These 3 stocks right here, or these 3 options contracts right here. What are these? These are covered calls. All 3 of these contracts right here are covered calls. You see the last trade of the contract getting pretty close to 0 with just 1 day left until expiration. You see the percentages here. We pretty much made up all the money that we can make in those trades. So covered calls. Let's walk through the mechanism a little bit, and then let's talk about what's the next action that we're going to take with regard to these trades. So when we sell a covered call, it means that we own the stock, right? We own the underlying stock. So if we use Visa as an example here, right? I own shares of Visa in this live portfolio right here. And what we're doing when we sell a call against the shares that we own is we get paid today. We get money today credited to the account when we go ahead and sell that call option. And then the risk that we take on, because whenever somebody's giving you money, you're taking on some sort of a risk or a commitment. The risk that we're taking on is that we might have to sell our shares of Visa at a higher price sometime between when we make the trade and the expiration date. So again, let me walk you through it, guys. We own shares of Visa. We sold calls against that position. When we sold those calls, we collected $2.73 per share for taking on the risk that we might have to sell Visa for $240, which is higher than the stock was trading at some point in time in the future. Okay. We have 3 stocks right now that we're actively doing this on. It's Visa, it's Palantir, it's United Wholesale Mortgage. Again, we own shares in all of these. We're selling calls against them, and I am going to go ahead and do the exact same thing right now. All right, so we're going to take you through this covered call trading. We're going to make 3 live trades. We're going to rapid fire them. I'm going to talk through it while I do it, but I'm not going to slow down a ton. So if you have questions, drop the questions in the chat. Once I hit these 3 trades, I'll go through. I'll read all the questions. So drop them in there. And I need a drink of water. Okay, Chaser. All right, let's keep going. All right, covered calls. Visa. We are going to go about a month out. Can you do this on weeklies with a stock like Visa? Absolutely, you can. I'm going to go out to the next monthly contracts. Do I need to? Not necessarily. It's more or less just sort of a habit I'm in. So here's the option chain for Visa that we are looking at here. Scrolling. Call side of things, 235 looks decent. Let's pull up a chart of the stock. Visa. All right, here's 1 month. Oh, disconnected from server. We need a refresh. Come on, Benzinga pro.benzinga.com. Let's get this Visa chart on here so we can pick a strike price to sell these calls at. Here is daily candles on the 1 year chart. We have an all-time high right here at 228. Stock traded today as high as what? 227, 228, 226 is where we're at right now. I'm going to go ahead and hit these. I'm going to hit the 240s. I'm going to go shorter. I'm going to go shorter and go lower. So I'm going to go 15 days out, and I'm going to do the 230 calls. Okay. So let me talk you through why I'm thinking about this. Okay. Again, I own shares of Visa. I'm going to sell these calls right now for $3 per share or $300 per contract. We've got 200 shares of Visa. So we're going to sell 2 of these calls. We're going to collect $600 right away into the live account. The risk that we're taking on is that we might have to sell shares of Visa at 230. Oops, I didn't mean to say that. $235 per share is what we wanted to do. I misspoke. So 235 is our strike price. We're looking 15 days out. We're going to collect $163 per contract, or about $300 in total, $326 exactly. And basically the risk that we're taking on to collect these $326 is that I might have to sell my shares of Visa for $235 a share. That's $10 per share higher than where the stock is trading at today. It's also an all-time high in the stock. That's why I'm picking that one out. So if I have to sell the stock at the all-time high, we've seen it creep up and get rejected as it's approached this number in the past. That's why I'm going ahead and picking this strike price. So there is the first covered call that we're hitting. Boom, it's out there. We're filled. We got money in the account today, $326 today. And again, the risk that we're taking on, we might have to sell our shares of Visa at $10 higher than where the stock is trading at right now. Let's go ahead and do this next one. Ticker PLTR. Palantir. I own 200 shares of Palantir as well. Load up the option chain arena here. Let's get a sense of where these prices are. We're going to go out somewhere between 15 and 30 days. Stock last traded at $23. Let's look at a chart and see if we can find some sticking points in the chart here. I wonder how much we can get for selling these 28 strike Palantir calls. I'm guessing not a ton. Yeah, it's not much. 16 cents. What if we go out a month? There might be a little bit more juice there at the 28s. 54 cents. That's the one that I'm going to hit. So again, we're going to sell 2 contracts here. We're getting $53 a contract, $106 in total. We're looking 36 days out. Basically, we're getting $100 today. The risk that we're taking on is we might have to sell our shares of Palantir that we own at $28 per share sometime between now and 36 days from now. How did I go ahead and pick out that price? Check this out. We've seen the stock try to creep up to this $28 several times over the past month, over the past 2 months. The stock hasn't gotten there. So that's why I'm going ahead and I'm picking that 28 price. I think it's more likely than not that I will collect that premium. My average price in Palantir is somewhere around $23 right now. So hey, if I had to sell the shares for $28, that's fine. I can always buy more shares if I want to. I went out 36 days instead of 15 days because now I'm getting more than double per contract in order to kick that out. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sell those calls against the Palantir stock. And then the last one, UWMC. Let's take a look here. UWM Holdings, United. That's an ugly chart. Daily candles. We see the stock charging into lows. Jesus Christ. All right, that's ugly. All right. I'm not taking any trade on UWMC right now. I'm not going to sell covered calls because I might sell the stock, right? With Visa, I can do that because I know I'm not going to sell the stock. With Palantir, I can do that because it's likely that I'm not going to sell the stock. UWM's, I might dump the stock. Here's the line to watch, right? We got to see if it holds this line. It's right around 725. That's the previous low in the stock. If it holds that line and gets a bounce, we might keep it. If it fails that line, we're probably going to bomb out of the trade. Again, this is sort of bringing me back to the Coinbase trade yesterday, right? My biggest position was in Voyager Digital. It's a Coinbase peer. I told you guys, I said if Coinbase cannot hold its opening price trade, we are going to be in for some pain. The stock did not hold that. Coinbase did not hold that opening trade price. So I went ahead and I bombed out. I sold the Voyager Digital shares. So far, it's been the right decision. The stock's given up another 10, 15% since then. And this is sort of the same thinking that I have on UWMC. So again, guys, options trades that we just put on today. I lost them in the live portfolio, but basically we sold covered calls against Visa. We sold covered calls against United Wholesale Mortgage. And again, we own the stock on those. We sold calls against Palantir. We sold calls against Visa. I see in the chat, I think it was Bill Big D said, you're going too far out with those dates. I mean, we went 15 days out. What do we do? We went 15 days out for Visa. We went 36 days out for Palantir. Is that too far out? Maybe it's too far out. But again, we got more than double the juice. We got about triple the juice by adding another 20 days or so. That's about 15 market days onto the options contract. And so that's why I went ahead and I went 36 days out on the Palantir trade versus the Visa trade. And I see a special guest hanging out in the waiting room, producer AB. You're at Benzinga HQ. What's up, man?
At Benzinga HQ. My shirt's making this little funky effect, but it's okay.
And you don't
I
have
think
the
it looks kind
lights
of cool.
on. You're like in a dungeon.
Really?
Dungeon AB.
The lights on. Let me hop off and get the lights turned up a little bit. I'll be back on.
All right. We'll see you in a little bit. But all right, guys, those are the options trades. I want to throw this one out here too. UWMC is obviously a favorite of the chat, favorite of the retail trading community as a whole. I'm curious if anybody else is still in this one like I am. If you are, drop me the 1 in the chat. If not, drop me the 2. Curious to see where everybody is at. And if you're just joining us, I'm going to make an ask. The ask is going to be, check this out. This is youtube.com. I have up on my screen here. There's this little thumb button on your YouTube page. I promise there's a thumb there. Go ahead, hit that. Helps us get more viewers onto the stream. Share the stream. We're going to have some fun today. We got another hour to go. All right. We've got 2 more guests. We got more trades to talk. I'm going to open a short position in a second here. Before I do that, I want to dog space a little bit. Maybe producer AB will come back with me so we can dog space together, or he can come back against me. But we will see. And yeah, not a ton if anybody is in this UWMC anymore. Good for you guys being disciplined and getting out of it. I'm not in it yet. And I see somebody else in the chat saying, what about SOS? I'm staying away from these stocks right now. If I were to hop back into the space, Voyager would be the one that I probably get back into. The reason being, I know that stock better than anybody. It's a bold statement to say that. But I mean, check this out. Show this thread. Every 1 or 2 weeks, I do a nice deep dive on Voyager, right? I make these long-ass tweet threads. We're looking at the valuation. We're putting together some estimates, etc. So I know Voyager incredibly well. Again, so if I were to hop back into the space, that would be the one that I'm getting into. If you guys are in the stock, want to read this, these were basically the thoughts that I had into the Coinbase IPO. where again I outlined the line to watch is that Coinbase open trade price. Much better, producer AB.
I'm
better.
back. We got some lights on. Yeah, I had to
Yeah,
pull in.
you look great.
Oh, thank you.
So what's up, man? You're visiting Detroit this week. How do you like it?
It's beautiful up here. Some good spring weather. You know, this office is just insanely cool. I wish all of ZingerNation could come up and see it sometime. We got to do that sometime because it's an incredible office, incredible location. Just having fun.
They can take producer Rohan's seat, just sitting there empty all day.
Yeah, why not? Rohan did help me get the lights fixed a little bit, and I think it does.
That's not the point. He's not supposed to work on the show. He needs to go study how we get more viewership here.
Producer AB, they get you Wingstop yet? We got B-dubs today, which is close enough to Wingstop. So
we don't actually like Wingstop. Here's a dirty secret of Benzinga. None of us actually like Wingstop. It's literally only Jason. We think it sort of sucks.
I'll abstain from that.
Buffalo Wild Wings today. Wait, guys, come over here. We need to get some. All right, we're taking a break from trading. We got more trades coming up. All right. I just said we all sort of actually don't like Wingstop, and I got like 19 people in the office agreed. Alan's about to come over. Alan, give us your thoughts on Wingstop that we get ordered every single day.
Wingstop, no thanks. Buffalo Wild Wings all the way.
Let's just not tell them. There's like 19. Bert, you have an opinion on Wingstop? All right, hold on. They're just going to keep coming. Everybody at Benzinga is about to just talk shit about Wingstop as Jason's not here today.
I actually love Wingstop.
You gotta go closer.
Hey, I actually prefer Wingstop over B-dubs. That's right. I don't know. B-dubs doesn't have the same quality it used to. I can go to Wingstop and I get the same thing every time. It's great. It's amazing.
All right.
So we've got it.
They keep coming.
We have a Wingstop bowl.
I'd just like to say that we do not endorse Bert's opinion. Wingstop is clearly inferior to B-dubs. I mean, particularly we always get boned wings from Wingstop. I don't understand that. Your hands get dirty. It's a mess. Can't do it.
All right. So there. Oh wait. Okay, we got another one.
Wingstop is so bad. I nearly moved on to a different company because of it.
Oh my Atlanta.
So if y'all wanted a dirty secret about Benzinga, it's that none of us actually like Wingstop. We just go along with Jason about it. Don't tell him. All right. Yeah, so he's not here today. I had the credit card. We went ahead and we bought Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, producer AB, preview of today. Everybody just joining us. I want to dog space a little bit. Virgin Galactic, ticker SPCE. I want to talk about Baba. I want to talk about New York Times. And you've got a very special guest joining us in just a moment here, correct?
We do, yeah. I mean, do you want to go through a couple of those real quick, or do we? All
right, fine.
We want to get to that later.
Let's talk space, okay? I've been dying to get this one out. Ticker SPCE. Let's put it up onto the screen. We're calling it down to the front of the class. If I had sound effects today, I would be blaring them all right now. Virgin Galactic, okay? This was one of the early SPAC deals, Chamath deal. Let's pull up the chart. We're gonna get a 1-year chart on Virgin Galactic here.
And Luke, this is the one that Chamath famously sold out of, right?
That's why I'm dogging the stock, okay? You don't even know the whole story yet, producer AB. Chamath bombed out of his Virgin Galactic stake. He took this thing public, sold all of his shares in it. And then today, the other big name in the stock, Richard Branson, sold $150 million worth of stock in Virgin Galactic. That's why I want to dog this one today. We're calling it down to the front of the class. Stock's off 13%. You got Chamath losing faith. You got Richard Branson losing faith. Don't love it. Chart is ugly. And that's why I wanted to dog on space a little bit today.
Did Richard Branson say why he sold?
I don't know if we got to know why. Let's take a look. I don't see anything. Nope, we don't have anything.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And you had Chamath bomb out, right?
Yeah, it's like the opposite of insider buying. You got the insider selling. It's never a good sign.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be a not bad sign, right? Like Richard Branson could have racked up a massive tax bill somewhere and needs some cash to pay for it, right? But again, he's got a lot of shit he could sell. He picks Virgin Galactic to be the one thing that he sells. not a great sign for the stock.
Doesn't he have his own island? I wonder what the tax rate is there on his own island.
Yeah, I don't know. Jason, so good of you to join us.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We have no producer Rohan today.
Where'd he go?
I told him he can't come work on the show until we have more viewers. So we have too many people working on this. So look at his desk is sitting there empty. Once he figures out how to get us 2,000 viewers, then he can come back and work on it. Okay.
Okay. My computer died on me. I'm on my mobile phone right now. It's very interesting. I'm holding.
All right, but producer AB was about to bring on a very special guest. Should we cut there while you work on the computer?
No.
You want to hang out with the guest? What's the deal?
No, not yet. I mean, it's two things. How is GMBL doing today? What was you guys cover that?
Yep, we actually had CEO Grant Johnson on the show with us at 12:30. Stock's off a little bit, but it's been a hot one. He gave us some interesting insight. He gave us a nice nod. He gave us a big nod. I said, tell us what investors have to look forward to. He said, and this is almost a direct quote, not exact, but pretty damn close. He said, I can't give you specifics, of course, but there's going to be more deals down the road.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right. So I'm going to get Mitch. I may need him to come on. Having some issues here.
Clearly.
But ZingerNation, you're strong, long, and we're going to keep rocking this market. Finding new trades for you. I'm doing some heavy due diligence. I'm
strong, long, just like Spencer Israel.
I'm flying to New York today at 4:00, guys, to go do some research on a company for you guys. I don't want to say what it is because I don't know if it's good yet and yada, yada. So that's what I'm doing here. So be here Monday or Friday. No, Monday, because Monday will be the time I'll give the search. All right.
And then tomorrow we'll all right. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, producer AB. Enough of
Let's
us.
roll it.
It's all about the guests on this show. And you got someone special. I'm gonna roll the video.
Let's do it.
And let's bring him on.
Bill, how we doing today?
Doing great, bud. How are you?
I'm good. Real quick, can you introduce yourself to the audience real quick?
Absolutely. I'm just sorry I don't have my son Kai here to weigh in on the whole BBW versus Wingstop debate because he's got a strong.
Oh, is your son a big wing guy?
No, he's not. He loves it, but he goes local. So I am the president and CEO of AXLA Health, which is on the NASDAQ as AXLA, and I am thrilled to join the ZingerNation here this afternoon. You guys always bring great energy, so look forward to the discussion today.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. So just some real quick, can you give us some background on AXLA Health?
Sure. So AXLA Health is a clinical stage biotechnology company where we are focused on working on a really innovative, cool thing. And that's because we were founded by Flagship Pioneering. What you guys are probably familiar with is one of the origin VCs for Moderna. And what they seek to do is tackle real big, complex things that can make a big difference in people's health. And so the way we're tackling that is going after what are called endogenous metabolic modulators, or EMMs. These are master regulators and signaling agents that work in your body to manage your health, and we're able to put together complex compositions to tackle complex diseases. And we're excited about this, and we have two rapidly progressing phase 2 late-stage clinical development programs in late-stage liver disease. In fact, just Tuesday, we made the announcement that we cleared the IND, and we are ready to go into phase 2 with our 1125 candidates. So it's great timing to speak with y'all.
Yeah, so I read the press release. I saw that. So I saw it was for treatment for NASH. And I had to do some little research on exactly what NASH is. So can you give our audience some background on what NASH, what that means?
Sure. And I'll use that, if you don't mind, to explain a little bit more about the science and what we do. So what we seek to understand is what are the biologies that are dysregulated, and how do we put together a composition to address them simultaneously in an integrated way. And we're able to test this in the most relevant setting possible, which is people with the disease. So we've done that in several areas, including NASH. Now, NASH is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, which means basically fatty liver disease. And it is driven by metabolism it's driven by inflammation, and it's driven by fibrosis. Now, in terms of size and the impact of this disease, more than 40 million Americans have NASH, so it is huge. It is complex, as I've said, and it requires intervening on all of these biologies at the same time to have a potentially profound effect in the disease state. And what we've done there is we've already taken 2 consecutive positive studies. We went to the FDA with that data, and they approved us to move forward into a phase 2B study, where what we're looking to do is have impact again on metabolism, inflammation, fibrosis, all things that are important. Why? Because the areas, this is an intense area of drug development. There are more than 50 compounds here because of the size, because of the unmet medical need. The challenge is it is complex. And what we've seen to date is most agents, as you know, in the biotech space, they're focused on one target. You know, either I'm going to bind and block that, or I'm going to amp that up and try to drive that. We work in all of the areas simultaneously. And what that allows us to do is have a profound effect across multiple markers and have a safe and well-tolerated profile, which is going to be critical in this area. So NASH, big disease, growing opportunity, lots of drug development, but hard. And we have a product that is going to be able, in the words of the physicians, to be a profound first-line agent with potential differentiation in diabetics, which is a big population in this group, as well as pediatrics and for combinations. So we're thrilled to be able to initiate this program coming up here in this coming quarter, and then look forward to reporting out more information as we make progress here.
Got it. So on the in the press release, I noticed it was, so y'all got approved for a 2B clinical trial. What's the difference between a 2B clinical trial versus just a normal phase 2?
Yeah, so phase 2 is where you're studying activity. Okay, and so phase 1, you're traditionally looking at safety. Phase 2, you're looking at activity in order to then go into your registration trial. So a 2B means you already know kind of the dose range that you want to test, and you're looking at a definitive activity measure. So in our case, what we've done is we've had 2 consecutive positive studies where we've demonstrated impact across all of these measures, demonstrated a safe and well-tolerated profile, and tested some dosing. So now we're going into this study with 2 active doses versus placebo to demonstrate impact across the measures that are important to the regulators and the clinicians. And so that allows us to then use that to go into a very efficient phase 3.
Understood. That's interesting. So I know you kind of mentioned on how common NASH is. Do you know about what the market opportunity is for treatments for NASH?
Yeah, the early estimates are by 2027, it'll be an $8 billion plus market. And that's because it's so big and it's chronic. Okay, so you can imagine if you've got 40 million plus people, it's growing. It affects 10% of our children already, unfortunately. And you have a situation where you're going to have to treat for a long period of time. This offers up a really big opportunity commercially.
Got it. And for investors, you know, do you know a timeline? I mean, I know you're in phase 2 right now, but when could they maybe expect that market to hit the, you know, be live and be, you know, going?
Well, as I mentioned, there are a number of products that are in advanced development right now. We expect an FDA readout in the not too distant future. By that, I mean within the next 12 months on some of the programs. And we hope to see that develop in the next few years, because this, again, is going to be big. It's going to be complex. It's going to need a lot of therapies to make a big difference. We feel fortunate that because of our mechanism, because of our safety, because of our oral dosing, and the physician's position, that we can be an excellent first-line agent, which will play an important role here.
Understood. And can investors expect y'all to be the leader in the treatment of this? Or are there other drugs on the market already?
Yeah, so there are no drugs currently on the market. There are a few drugs ahead of us in the clinical development pathway, so they may reach the market first. What I'm going to tell you is we're the only one distinctly tackling all 3 of these biologies simultaneously in an integrated way, that also have an oral dosing formulation that is also safe and well tolerated and doesn't have any additional kind of sequelae. Because remember, we work with the body systems. That's one of the powers of our science. We're actually understanding these are the pathways that are dysregulated. These amino acids and their derivatives drive and signal these areas. We're putting them together in a way that can affect profound change on how your body works. And that allows us to have a nice range of safety and tolerability.
Understood. And as far as, I mean, is there any, with the science, is there anything kind of indicating why, you know, maybe more and more people are getting this disease? I mean, I know it's not, it's essentially liver disease, but it's not from alcohol, right?
It's a combination. There's some people that are just genetically prone to liver fat, but a lot of it is driven by lifestyle. So you have the epidemics of obesity and diabetes and sedentary lifestyle and just driving massive increases in the population here, in addition to the people who have genetic predispositions. So that's one of the reasons why we're seeing such growth, not just here in the US, but across the world.
Right. So outside of the treatment for NASH, is there anything, any drugs, anything special, anything cool that y'all are working on right now?
Yeah, I should step back and tell you, we're a platform company. That's part of what attracted myself from large pharma, along with many others of my team members, to really join. Is it's not just one opportunity with an important disease like NASH. I mentioned we're rapidly progressing in 2 important liver diseases. The other one is a product called 1665 in overt hepatic encephalopathy. Now, this is a cirrhotic condition where the liver is not functioning properly and you get neurocognitive impairment. So you're not able to think and act and function in the way that you normally do. And on top of that, you're actually wasting away physically. Your muscle is trying to help out the liver to clear the waste, but it does so really poorly. So it's really difficult situation. And we have a program that's initiated a phase 2 trial this quarter as well. There, where our mechanism is broader than the standard of care. Has a well-tolerated safety profile to date, and our goal is to improve on the standard of care and then hopefully become it. Because right now, what you have in this field is one mechanism that they're tackling, and that's ammonia handling. Now, ammonia is part of it, but you also have muscle metabolism, amino acid, and of course, neurocognition. So we've demonstrated in our most recent study the ability to affect all of those and have a statistically significant impact on neurocognitive measures. And that's what we're really leading up to, is testing in that and improving on that opportunity. So those are our 2 lead programs. Now, on top of that, as I mentioned, we have a platform, and we have 6 major areas we believe there's opportunity in here. Metabolic, of course, to expand on what we're doing. Atrophy, we've already demonstrated impact on. The same with inflammation. Then you get into neurocognitive, where we've shown activity, and also immune, and also neuroprotective. And these are areas where there's existing strong data and science that gives us a lot of promise here. So what I really want your team to take away from on this are a couple of pieces. Number one, we are founded on great science that we have a high probability of success with delivering against. Our development model is pretty innovative, and it allows us to get there fast, efficiently, but most importantly, well-informed. And so I'm really proud that our team has been able to take these 2 programs and go from concept to phase 2 inside of 4 years. To give you all context, that's less than half the time that it normally takes. Most importantly, we have a lot of information which gives us a high probability of success. So later this year, we're going to be talking about the next steps we'll be taking in our pipeline, and I think we can be even more efficient than we've already done to date.
Got it. Sorry about that.
No worries.
So yeah, wait, real quick, where's AXLA Health located? I should have started with that.
No, that's fine. We're in Cambridge, Massachusetts, as a lot of the hotbeds of biotech are, especially ones that are trying to pioneer. And so that's where we're headquartered, and we continue to grow our team across the country to really bring in the best talent to help us pioneer in this field.
Cambridge, you got some smart people up there. You bring people in from Harvard and MIT?
A lot of our lab teams come from there, yes, and I have the privilege of working with some very, very smart people and having the opportunity. And that's what you need when you're going to do something that is truly innovative. We have the benefit of working on well-founded science, knowing the regulatory path, and having a lot of team members who have great experience bringing products to bear and to make a difference for patients. But you want to draw on the right ecosystem, and we plan to grow this company to be a world leader in this space, and that's one of the reasons why we located here.
Understood. Yeah, I always joke that Cambridge has to have like the highest IQ per capita, in the country.
It's pretty remarkable when you think about the talent on the science side, the medical experience here, of course, along with the innovation and tech side, and that combination, because like many companies, we're combining the science and data analytics. We use machine learning to allow us to handle and design our compositions combined with the world's literature and our tools that we have proprietary. So that kind of ecosystem coming together, to your point, is remarkably powerful.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to leave our audience with? Anything that you think investors can be looking forward to outside of the clinical trials, or anything else you've already mentioned?
Yeah, I'd reinforce a few things. First and foremost, we're working with science that is designed to work with the body. So a lot of the risk that you see with traditional biotech and pharmaceutical development around, does the product work? Is it safe if you can get it there, et cetera? We have a lot of those things addressed, and we've been able, through our science and our work with the regulatory authorities, to demonstrate that now not once, but twice in a short period of time as we move into the IND and the late stage clinical development program. So I'd say we believe we have a high probability of success. We reduce a lot of the risks that are traditional here, and we have a very expanded opportunity to deliver. And what we're really excited about now is initiating the 2 studies. We'll be sharing that in the next quarter, along with in our first quarter results, sharing more detail on that, and then updating y'all on the platform and pipeline opportunities that we see going forward. So really proud of the team, really pleased with the progress we've been able to deliver. We've executed time and time again. We plan to keep doing that.
Awesome. I see an interesting question in the chat. Someone's asking, does AXLA own the workspace platform? Can other labs use it to work on their own projects?
Yeah, so everything that we have is proprietary now and wholly owned. Now we have tools and information that we, of course, collaborate with world leaders in the science and other aspects that we have available to us to continue to move forward. So we have an excellent scientific advisory board and a series of collaborators that we work with on this, but everything that we have is proprietary and internally built.
Awesome. Well, unless you have anything else you want to leave the audience with, I'll let you get back to working hard on those drugs and those clinical trials, and so hopefully we can see them out soon. But yeah, thank you for joining the PowerHour today.
My pleasure. Thank you, and thank everybody for your attention. Look forward to continuing to engage with you, and please pay attention because I think we're going to do some special things. Take care and be well, and enjoy the wings.
Of course. Yeah. Have a nice day, Mr. Hinshaw. We'll definitely enjoy the wings over here.
All right. Bye now.
Bye now. All right, y'all. That was CEO of AXLA Health, Bill Hinshaw. Pretty exciting stuff they've got going on. That'll be one I'm definitely going to keep my eye on. Coming up, we've got Brady from Atlas at 1:30. So that'll be exciting. Brady from Atlas coming on. Stick around for that. Real quick, we've got our Clean Tech conference coming up on April 22nd. I'm going to go ahead and play our little teaser for that. All right, y'all. So until we've got, like I mentioned, we have Brady coming on at 1:30. So we've got 7 minutes. What I want to do is I want to take some tickers from the chat. I want to just pull up the chart and we can talk about them. We'll answer some questions. I'm no expert. This isn't investment advice, but I like to look at what tickers everyone's interested in and see. I've still got AXLA pulled up. So right when I see those tickers start flying in, I'll start pulling some up. We do have, after Power Hour, we've got our crypto show at 2 p.m. Eastern. So we want to stick around for that. Oh, here they come. All right, first one I saw was Fubo. Fubo is one of these ones that we saw get a huge, during the crazy run. We got all the way up here to, let's see, all the way up here to about $60. Now it's trading at under 20. Wow. I mean, Fubo is one of these that it's tough to make a call because it's been so volatile. But Fubo's got some good things that I do like about them. For those of you that might not be familiar with Fubo TV, they're an online streaming service but their focus is in live sports. And right now, live sports is one of the things that advertisers will pay the most for, because most TV shows, movies, people are watching on Netflix, on Hulu, where there's not really a lot of ads. So advertisers will pay top dollar for sports advertising. And Disney is a good play for live sports too, since they own ESPN, obviously, and ABC. They play a lot of sports. They get all the big sports contracts. But Disney actually, it came out that Disney has a disclosed surprise stake in Fubo. So if Disney's invested in Fubo, it makes me believe that this could be a big player for live sports. I know Fubo recently got a deal to host some of the World Cup streaming. I believe that should be coming up in 2022. And then, of course, also they're working on integrating a live gambling platform into Fubo. So looking at the chart, as I mentioned, it's hard to gauge these ones that have been super volatile. Here, let me pull up the 6 month. I mean, you can see we've had these big, it almost looks like a Head and Shoulders without the next shoulder. And I like it, but I want to see it drop a little bit more probably before I get in. But it could be just a good long-term buy and hold. Let's see what else we got. Visslink. This is a favorite of Power Hour. We had their CEO, Mickey Miller, on. Vissel, kind of related to the live sports. They're working on getting some of these cool integrated technologies built into the NFL and some other live sports leagues. So they'll have cameras apparently in the helmets of NFL players that they'll be able to really enhance the viewer experience of the special guest. I didn't even play should I play the special guest graphic?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hot Stocks Luke.
I'm gonna do it.
What do you think about what do you think about Visslink? That was fun when we had their CEO Mickey Miller on.
Yeah, that was fun. No strong opinion on my end right now. I don't really know anything about the stock, to tell you the truth.
I know it's down about 7.75% today. So, there's a lot of red candles there. But that's been one of the favorites of retail traders, talking on Twitter and Reddit. And so it'll be a fun one to watch.
All right. What about support.com? Can you give me a support.com chart, please?
Yes, sir, I can.
This is my YOLO trade right now. Where are we at? 417.
Come
on now. Who's buying this stock?
You guys got to stop buying this stock. Luke's got covered calls on it.
No. Naked puts.
Naked puts.
Expiring tomorrow. $4 is the line. $4 is the line. If you zoom out, give me 1 month time period on this chart. Producer.
So we want to see it get down to $4 for your naked puts to not expire worthless. Is that how that works?
No. So the puts are $5. All right, I'm already in the money on them. I'm up on them. Right, I paid 67 cents. The stock's right it's at 416. So you can do the math there. $4 I'm saying is the line, because look at that. The previous low that we have after that big run up was right at $4 on the dot. Stock got down to $4 on the dot again today and bounced. So that's why I'm calling out $4 is the line on support.com to grasp PRT. If we blow that, then great. But otherwise, I don't know. I think we're in for I think the stock's in for trouble, which is good for me. That's my thinking there.
Let's do. Okay, we got to do another check on coin. I haven't looked at that in a minute, and I see that in the chat as well.
And then I'm going to pitch you a stock.
All right, I love new stock pitches.
All right, let's
we're
see
at 3. I actually have a stock pitch for you too after yours.
All right. So yeah, I mean, Coinbase is whatever, right? It's hanging out, nothing super exciting. You know, I'm sitting on the sidelines with this one. I'll throw this one out to ZingerNation guys. If you're long coin or you like coin right now, drop us the 1 in the chat. If you're sitting on the sidelines like myself, throw me the 2. But basically, I've got 2 things, 2 reasons as to why I'm hanging out on the sidelines. One is I think that the big line in the sand is where that stock opened for trading yesterday, right? The reference price that we get is useless at $250. That doesn't mean anything. I think that 381, where the stock opened for trade, that's the key line to watch there. The stock couldn't hold it yesterday. I blew out of all of my crypto trades when coin couldn't hold that 381 yesterday. All those stocks are getting hammered right now. Will I get back into them at some point? Maybe. But first, I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna see if we can get some positive momentum. I think that until coin gets back up there, it's not even really going to be on my radar. And if we look at academic studies, right, and these are academic research that's done on IPOs, not direct offerings, not a ton of direct offerings, but let's just assume that the trend is the same. Basically, IPOs outperform on their first day of trading, right? That's something that we know happens. Over the course of that next year, they typically underperform. Even if you pull up FB, we used this example earlier, but even if you look at something like a Facebook, which of course has been a rocket, they had that big IPO. Producer AB, do you remember the Facebook IPO?
Yeah, it was $17 around there, I think, when it came out.
It broke NASDAQ. All right, well, I'm gonna go on a rant in a second about the Facebook IPO, but pull me up a Facebook chart for a second here.
Well,
right?
I want to hear your stock pitch too.
All right, it's going to be short New York Times.
So yeah, it opened. Let's see, we're at the max right now. That's what happened.
Check this out, right?
Like
and these are 1 month candles that you have up on the chart. Look at it, struggled for a long time, and it wasn't until it got back over where that stock opened for trade on its IPO that it got it turned into a rocket ship. There's a lot of IPO charts that look like that. So that's why coin, a couple reasons there. I'm on the sidelines. And all right, we've got a very special guest coming up in a second, but let me pitch a stock. I've been wanting to do this one for a couple days now. Sip of water first. And some chaser. All right, NYT. Well, give me a chart of NYT, November Yankee Tango, New York Times. Give me a 1 year chart.
1 year chart.
Or whatever you want to do. All right, so here's New York Times 1 year chart. Stock is a little bit off of the all-time highs, right? You see that high up there right around $58. Right now it's trading right around 50, but more or less the stock is holding up. And let me dig into the thesis here. Whenever I'm pitching a stock, I always need to have 2 pieces. I need to have some sort of numbers to support my thesis, and then I need to have some sort of a story, right? If I don't get both of those, I don't take a position. So here's what we got in New York Times, and I'm actually gonna be pitching this one to you on the short side. And again, chat, call me out if you don't like it. I'm curious where everybody's at. But all right, we've got a few things. We'll start on the number side of things. Okay, as the world is reopening, right? People are getting vaccinated. People are going back to their normal lives. I can see from the analytics data that I get on Benzinga.com, and it's about 15 million people a month, but I can see from that data set that the number of people visiting our site is starting to go down, right? We're entering into these summer months. We were at all-time highs every single month. Every single month was a new traffic high. And I talked to a lot of publishers, right? It's not just Benzinga.com. Of the publisher groups that I talked to, everybody said, hey, our traffic peaked in January, February, March, somewhere around there. And now, like, on sequentially over weeks, as the world is starting to become interesting again, we're starting to see weaker and weaker traffic volumes. New York Times makes the vast majority of their money from people visiting their websites, right? They still have print, yes. They still make some money from print, yes. But digital is where a lot of it comes from, and especially digital subscriptions. That's the number to watch there. So again, on the number side of things, I can say from Benzinga, from where we peaked a couple months ago, traffic is off about 20%. Other publishers I talked to, the trend is the same. I don't see why New York Times would be an exception to that rule. So there you go on the number side of things. Now let's talk about the story side of things on New York Times. News is getting boring. It's getting more boring, right? No more T-Dog. No more Trump.
No more
right?
Trump.
In the White House. Trump keeping New York Times relevant in the press, in his speeches and his tweets every single day. The antics that he would pull, right? It's interesting. It's clickbaity shit. You want to see what happens. I don't remember the last time I went to see, oh shit, what did Biden say at his press conference yesterday? But I bet it was nuts. Right. So you lose that. COVID, right? New York Times got a crazy amount of traffic from COVID. Their COVID trackers, studies on it. COVID is becoming less interesting as well. So again, the number side of things, I just know, because I know the publishing business incredibly well, that hey, summer's happening. The world is opening up. The U.S. especially is getting vaccinated. We're all seeing declines as a group. And then for the story side of things, the news is less boring. So I like New York Times on the short side. I'm not going to short the stock outright. I'm going to go ahead and take on some sort of a put position in the stock. I don't know what strike yet. I'm going to go a decent bit out, and that's why I don't like the New York Times. So any quick thoughts on that, Producer AB, before we bring our next very special guest on?
Quick thoughts is I like it. I mean, I think industry-wide, we've seen a lot of numbers like that. I read a report the other day that like CNN's viewership is down 40%, and CNN kind of similar content to New York Times as far as that goes. And it's, I mean, it's like what you said, Trump out, COVID, not as much, clickbaity stuff going on in the news. And but let's get our guest, our special guest.
All right, you gonna roll the video? All right, Brady, what's up, man? Coming in from the phone lines. How are you doing today?
Hey, not too bad. Thanks for having me. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, loud and clear, sir. You having a good week thus far? It was a nice, fun week with Coinbase. I don't know. You doing okay?
Yeah, no, I mean, small cap market's been quiet. Everybody's been talking about that. It's a scalper's market right now, right? You just got to protect your capital. You scalp, and then you kind of wait for the volume to come back. You can scalp some large caps as well. Some small cap world is pretty quiet. So.
Awesome. And before we dive into it, Brady, can you just give us a little bit of background on yourself? How long you've been trading for, your style, anything along those lines?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been trading technically about 3-4 years. Kind of was very fundamental focused before that. Did a job in mergers and acquisitions, so that's how I kind of adapted the prior style. But I learned that technicals, kind of gets you a little bit further, right? You know where to buy, candlesticks, volume, really kind of understand that whole picture. So I'm with the Atlas crew. I joined during kind of inception. You probably know Ripster. He kind of brought me over when we were in Cam's room, Normac. Way back, and so I've been with Atlas for a couple of years now, and it's been good. Fun group of guys, and I like them all, guys and gals.
All right, shout out Atlas crew, good friends of Benzinga. And Brady, you mentioned that the small cap market has been a little bit quieter, more boring recently. You can still scalp some of these larger cap stocks. Anything in particular that's on your radar today, this week, etc.?
Yeah, no, nothing in particular. I've just been, I've been accumulating some NFT tickers that ran previously, but obviously I'm being kind of really careful with. So I'm trying to manage basically 75-25 or 80-20% cash. So 80% cash, 20% positions, and then the goal is as things kind of fizzle back, then I'll be kind of at good averages and kind of work with that. But I've been basically scalping the NFTs. Some of the runners, but a lot of the typical momentum runners are just not like sticking. So I just been Tesla is kind of my favorite kind of large cap scalp. But yeah, I mean there's really not much action out there in small cap world. So you just got to kind of do what you can and go with it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're scalping some of these momentum names, whether it's now or previously. what is it that you want to see to want to get into, these stocks? I mean, like what sort of a time horizon are you looking at to see some momentum? Is there any sort of volume levels you're looking for? Are you looking at your moving averages? Any insight there is helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so what I do with the typical momentum runners is, like stock goes up 180%, it'll dip down, whatever. I'm basically looking, so I draw like support resistance lines on kind of the daily. I also look at the hourlies because sometimes it's very difficult to see, see from the dailies, like whether it's like a, good support area or resistance turn support. And then what you'll notice is that those daily and those hourly higher time frames will translate to kind of your shorter time frames, right? So let's say you're trading on the 5-minute chart, or zooming into the 1 minute, 3 minute, right? Those daily levels are gonna potentially become support, and then you can get little bounce plays there. But the market's just been kind of where those levels aren't holding, right? And so it just makes it a little bit tougher to trade. But large caps really respect those levels very, very well. So you can kind of do that with large caps. With large caps, like let's say Tesla, you can even go back. Sometimes I go on the 4-hour, I go 180 days, over 180 days, and I just say, hey, these are some key levels. They'll translate to intraday, and then I'll just kind of go from it. And then I was like, hey, this is probably a good area to potentially kind of play the bounce. And I also look at volume. So I'm a big proponent of volume price analysis. So just kind of clean naked charts with volume price analysis. And so like if I see a low volume pullback, that's when I'm going to look to enter. If I see high volume pullback, right, like high volume and whatever, I'm just going to stay out, especially in this environment. Like you just got to protect your capital. I mean, some small caps are down like 70%. So, cash is a position.
Okay. And while you just mentioned, you're 75, 80% cash right now. So obviously you're more of in a risk off scenario. So let me talk about, when you do have a trade on, right. And you want to protect your capital. What are you looking at to get out of a trade, right? If it's not going with you, or I mean, even if it is going with you, what's sort of the indication or the heads up you have to say, hey, the jig is up in this one. I'm hopping out of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, so, basically I do mental stops, especially in penny world, because, market makers and whatever, they can, just basically just screw you out of position. And so
we've all been there.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I use mental stops, and then I kind of like, I'm a big swing guy. Obviously it's not a good swing environment right now. So, but basically I look at like 10% to potentially like cut and kind of go back. So that's kind of my threshold.
Okay.
You could be a little bit more aggressive if you want, but that, like, I don't like to bag hold. I'll just kind of, hey, this sucks, and I'm going to go with it. So I'm a swing trader, but I don't wait, 3 months for plays. So I like to do kind of under 5 days, couple weeks, and then like under 1 month type swings. And the way I time it is with, time frame analysis. And so basically I look to kind of ladder them. But, when the market isn't great, it's not cooperating. You just got to do those day trades. You take those scalps. I have a basket of, plays that I watch across, several sectors, and, I look for the ones with the best probability. Meaning like, if the daily is set up nicely, like it's upward trending, it's not like, making lower highs, right? Then I can, I like taking that, right? I like scalping that versus scalping something that's, in a downtrend. So
okay,
you have the bigger time frame working with you, so it'll help you intraday too. And you need all the help you need right now.
Yep, I believe it. All right, let's go back to the NFTs. You brought up the NFT stocks a little bit ago. Did you say you're still accumulating these stocks? Like you're throwing them into a long-term portfolio, or you've been trading around them? What's the deal with your NFT stocks?
No, I've just been accumulating them slowly, but I'm still kind of keeping the cash kind of around because obviously like they fell, some of them fell like 10, 15, 20% today, right? So I'm basically just accumulating at key levels, but I'm still maintaining the high cash balance just given where the market is. And so like these are all your kind of typical names, right? Like the ones that ran like HOFB, right? You have DLPN, YVR, OCG. IMT was a former runner, I'm not really a big fan of TCAT. I think it's just, but, CSCW and had, some NFT news recently. W Key has been just doing, PRs every day, but, all these things are just kind of, they're all kind of at good risk reward areas. And I kind of like I like the sector more than some other sectors. But I mean, the issue is like right now, a lot of sectors are downward trending. So you can pick up a swing, right, and it'll just get demolished, right? And so that's
Yep.
why scalping is the name of the game. And I just accumulating a little bit, kind of on the side for the high up and down, right, for whatever when it happens. But nothing crazy, still managing the cash.
Yeah, I mean the thing that's nice about these NFT stocks, especially from a swing trade perspective, and like I'm a news person through and through, right? I've been at Benzinga for 8 years now, right? News is all I do every day. These guys are like masters of putting out news. I mean, there's when it was hot, they were dumping PRs on us, and I would imagine that when there's big things going on in the industry, we'll get some of that PR action again.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thought process here is, I know I had a couple people ask, but a lot of big trends will have a secondary path. Like think about Wii a couple years back, right? Bitcoin, like they always have and GameStop, right? The whole Wall Street bets thing. People thought it was dead at 40, 50, but I was looking for that secondary bounce. Played with some of my like kind of Atlas guys, and the secondary bounce happened, and it was big. It was like a 4x secondary bounce. So because the first one was so big. And so that's that's the angle here. The other thing too, it's I know these things have been on a downtrend. They're kind of like like if they don't return back to prior lows, like they could potentially be forming higher lows once things kind of settle out, right? So I prefer to kind of add during consolidation and then kind of see higher lows and then have it build up to a breakout versus just having something in a downtrend and then just me adding when the market's super high and anything can just send it down.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I like it. All right. Let's go off stocks for a second, Brady. And we had a big debate here about an hour ago. And there's a dirty secret of Benzinga I'm going to reveal to you, which is that our CEO Jason loves Wingstop.
Okay. We
all hate it. We think it sucks. Like we think it's awful. He orders Wingstop for the office literally every single day, and none of us have the balls to say anything to him about it. He's not here today, so we got Buffalo Wild Wings. We've got a happy office here at Benzinga HQ. But do you fall on a particular side of this debate, either the Wingstop or the Buffalo Wild Wings side of things?
No, I actually don't like wings too much. Yeah, it's not really my thing. I'm a big I like to cook, so like I'll do like my own dishes and stuff like that, and halibut. So I'm not a big wings guy. I know my buddy Laid Back is you interviewed him before, but yeah, I don't. There's no real preference there.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna spin this in the way that's advantageous to me, which is to say you're not a fan of Wingstop. We're gonna leave out half the story, okay? We're just gonna say, all right, you're just not a fan of Wingstop.
Wait, real quick. I want to hop in here real quick, Brady.
Yeah,
This
go
is
ahead,
producer AB. So I'm more of like a thesis trader, but I want to get more kind of into the technicals. And I'm seeing word on the street is you're the man, you're the best mentor for technical trading. Where is like the best place to start?
Yeah, so I mean, so in Atlas, I have an education channel. It's called Brady's Education. So I have a bunch of kind of like webinar videos, and like there's certain books I think help. And so I think the first thing is like volume price analysis. Anna Coling has 2 books. You may think books don't help you trade, but that one is actually game changing. And so basically, like you just look at volume, you look at price, and you can put anything you want onto a chart, right? You can. If you're an EMA guy, SMA guy, or like, you like Fibonacci, or you just draw simple support resistance, if you have volume price analysis, you can anticipate. It's the only kind of leading indicator you have. If you get real good at it, you can kind of understand the market makers too and stuff. And I did a session on Twitch the other day. It was my first session on Twitch. And so like I'll be doing more of those, and I'll post it to like YouTube, so on and so forth. It's all my Twitter profile and stuff.
How did you like the Twitch experience? Was it your first time using Twitch ever, or the first time you ran something on Twitch?
First time using Twitch ever. It was more complex than I thought it would be in terms of setting up. Like it's not as simple as you go on Zoom, you share your screen. There's just there's some technical headaches. But it's a cool platform. I'm still kind of getting used to it, but I think it's a nice kind of place. And some other Atlas guys like Rock Bob.
Yep.
They're kind of big into that and stuff. I'll be doing more of that going forward.
Awesome. And real quick, Brady, can you drop the name of that book again? Questions coming out of the chat about it.
Yeah. So it's Anna Colling, Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis. And then he has, so that's only 130 pages, something like that. But it's a really good book, gives you kind of context. Then the second one is Stock Trading and Investing with Volume Price Analysis, I think. It should be very easy to search. There's only kind of 2 books with that, similar title. But the second book gives you there's 400 pages of examples. So those examples are where you can really like graphics, right? And you can read that over a 6-month period. There's no kind of rush, and it'll kind of it'll help it just ingrain into you. So.
Awesome. All right, I like it. And do you mind pulling up a chart for us, and we can talk about a stock that's popping since you've come on?
Yeah. I don't know. You want to look at
RKT is the one that I had in mind. The thing just ran about $1 in 4 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. So I'm curious, how you think about moves like this. If you have any reaction, if it makes you add the stock. I don't know. Any sort of thought process that you have when you see a stock like this just pop off. And there's no news that I see yet on the name.
Yeah, sure. So I pulled up the chart. I just basically have a clean, kind of naked chart. Similar to yours, I'm looking at the daily, or I guess you can look it over. It's only been around for 8 months. Yeah, so daily over 1 year kind of covers most of it, right? So I made this huge move, obviously, that short squeeze, and then it came down and it's facing. And so I know it moved 1 or 2% right now, but I mean right now it's just in a consolidation channel, right? It's not really doing much. This isn't my favorite type of play right now, just because I can go, but it's just the market's kind of very, very sensitive at this point. And so, but yeah, I mean technically right now I would have liked it better if it was basing around kind of the 20 area. But yeah, I mean this is basically you can. So I see kind of if it drops to 20, that's a key level where potentially bounce, but it's basing right now, and then it can basically pop. So it's if you were to take an entry, you're buying near consolidation, so you're not buying near the top, and that's usually where I like to buy. The only issue is just time, right? I care about time. I don't want to sit in a play, for a long period of time. So that's just general gist. I probably wouldn't take the play for a timing perspective, because it could take a while to pop, and it goes to pop at any time, but it's I like to see stuff that I think potentially counts. And the same thing you reference on NFTs, that's the whole thing. The NFTs, there's 12 tickers out there, and 5 or 7 of them are leaders who PR every single day. So the low volume stops to kind of dry up, right? You'll get a little bit of a chain effect, right? One can drive the other, right? Like Coffee and DLPN, they had some partnership news or something.
Yeah.
Caused the pop, right? Coffee popped twice before it kind of fell down really hard, right? 2 PRs. Brady making the his own NFT thing. So those are the type of I like more. I like catalysts, or so catalyst could be post offering play, or if it's a bio play, run up to some sort of conference. I'm not a big bio guy, but this is just kind of okay, it's consolidating, but then do I see a catalyst coming to potentially drive it up? So I think there's better plays out there.
Okay. And one of the big takeaways that I have of your, and again, I appreciate you just grabbing a ticker on the fly, but one of the things that I appreciate about you going into this one is, hey, we see this thing popping on the minute chart, right? These 1 minute candles look sexy, is that you zoom it out and look at the bigger trend, right? You're not just looking at it intraday, but you're saying, hey, let's look at these daily candles. How does this line up for the day? And so that's something which I think is definitely some helpful insight.
Yeah, no, I mean, basically I draw these daily or these hourly levels, and then respect it on the intraday, right? So even day traders who momentum trade, they look at the daily because it gives you a sense of, hey, spikeability, right? How far can it go? How does it move, right? Maybe how the PR team is, how do they like to, right? All this gives you information, right? So you understand big picture, and then you zoom in, and those become levels.
Awesome. I like it. And Brady, we actually have today at 4:00 Eastern. So what is that? 2 hours from now, we're launching a beta momentum stock scanner. It's pretty cool. It lets you filter by pretty much any field that you would see like on a FinViz chart to get to a universe you want. And then in real time, we'll pull up any sort of stocks that are ripping over various time periods, whether you want to see over a minute, 5 minutes, an hour, a day, a week, whatever that may be. So we'll have to send you a nice Benzinga Pro login so you can check that one out.
Gotcha. No, that'd be great.
Cool. All right. And what one last question, Brady. This is one that we ask almost every guest on the show, except for the guests that I have to be too serious with, which are some. I appreciate that you're not one of those people. Not going to call it any names. But do you own a drill, physical drill? We defined, a couple months ago on this show that's like the defining characteristic of a true adult. I don't own a drill. Producer AB does not own a drill. So Brady, where do you fall on the drill indicator?
I do not own a drill.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Never
We're
heard
not drilling shit on this stream. All right. I like it. Cool. Awesome, man. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. I appreciate all of the education you do for the community. We're going to drop those social links in the chat, guys. Make sure you go follow along with Brady. Stay in touch. He's one of the best guys out here providing education day in and day out, taking care of the FinTwit community. So Brady, appreciate you both coming on and everything you do.
Hey, thanks very much.
Thank you, Brady. We'll get you back on soon.
Cool. Sounds good. Take care.
Take care. All right, producer AB. No drills, and he doesn't like Wingstop. That's my kind of guy. And he boils shit down for us, right? He's sort of like me, the simple support resistance lines. I'm a fundamental guy, but those are the lines that I like to watch.
I know you and I need to just get in and watch some of his like beginner technical videos because we could probably learn a lot from those.
Yeah, it would be way better than Neil by the time we get through them. All right.
Wait, I have a stock pitch for you real quick. All right.
Pitch me. I just pitched my New York Times short position. I didn't even survey the chat, guys. Anybody who heard that short thesis on New York Times, ticker NYT, if you like the short thesis, so you're bearish on the stock, throw me a 1. If not, throw me a 2. I want to see where everybody's at. And of course, drop in if you like a drill. And if you're new to the stream, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We go all day, every day. We go 8 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 days a week. And we do educational webinars, all free, a shit ton of content, okay? So subscribe, hang out with us. We talk trades, we talk ideas, we show our live portfolios, that sort of thing. But all right, producer AB, hit us with your stock pitch.
I'm going to need you to
be critical.
I'm going to need you to pull up the chart. Good. We'll go. I need you to pull up the chart because my laptop just died.
Yeah.
Vici Properties, ticker VICI.
All right, this is a stock I've never heard of. Let's hear it. Here's a 1-year chart with daily candles. Things approaching all-time highs. What's the deal with this one?
Well, first of all, I want to say, there's a lot of studies out there that show when something hits like a 52-week high, that the data is that it'll keep climbing. So just real quick on the charts there, you can take a look at the financials, the fundamentals, if you have any thoughts. But the thesis is, so Vici, so they own a lot of golf courses, and golf is expected to be really hot in the spring and summer. But on top of that, they own some, hold on, casinos, resorts, stuff of that nature. So it's kind of a recovery play. Ruel is asking if it's a REIT. No, I don't believe so. But, I like the stock, and it is a real estate trust based. So they have these property, like the casinos is the big thing that I like about it, and the resorts, because I think as we get into just the summer and stuff, they're just gonna be hot all over. And I want to hear your critical thoughts on it.
So it's got a nice dividend, right? The dividend's $1.30-ish a year. On a $30 stock, that's almost 5%. That's nice. That's sort of the nature of the REIT. Daily candles look good too, right? I mean, you sort of have a couple lines here. Let's zoom in. These are still daily candles, right? So it's sort of like Brady. I'm like your simple technical analysis guy. You've got a couple of highs here. What is this? 29 and a half on the dot, right? You've got 1, 2, sort of 3, 4, 5 almost there. And then you've got the all-time high number up here to 29.88. I think those are maybe some. But
look at this. So it says the market cap is 13 billion, but it says the enterprise value is 20 billion. So I'd expect that market cap to keep growing and kind of start matching what's on their balance sheet.
So that means that they have a shit ton of cash then, basically, I guess.
Which I like. I mean, you know who else has a shit ton of cash is Apple. That's a good stock.
Okay. All right. I'm not opposed. I'll take it 50-50. I'm not a hater.
Here's the deal. All right.
I'm not a lover.
The stock's at what? The stock's at what? $30 right now. Just for fun, just throw a couple shares in your portfolio, and then look at it in 6 months and see what the return is. I'd venture to say it's at least above 20%. Because I'm looking at this to be $40 by the end of the summer.
And part of it is I'm just bored of the reopening trade. It's like been going on for like 8 months. I'm not saying that the trade's up. But I'm just like bored of it.
I agree. Because like everyone's been, for 6 months, it was like airlines, casino, win.
Dude, it's been since March, MGM. Since March 2020, basically. It's been like April 2020. I feel like it's like we started hearing the early rumblings of reopening trade, and that's all that we've listened to for a year.
But this hasn't been one that I've seen a lot of people talking about.
I never heard
as kind of a reopening play. And I saw, I was seeing some DD from other people who are doing on their financials, on the balance sheet. And I went ahead and threw a few shares in my portfolio, full disclosure. But I like the stock.
All right. One last thing to look at. We've got a minute left. And then we're going to be kicking over to crypto. We're going to be talking crypto in just a minute here. One last minute on stonks. All right. Support.com, baby. Stop buying this thing, assholes, okay? We looked at the live portfolio earlier. If you look at this chart, right, the stock jumped from $2 to as high as $9. When the company came out, they said, hey, we are no longer just a support company, outsource support services. Nothing wrong with being in that business. Seems like a good business to me. But the company came out and said, we are now a blockchain play. We're a Bitcoin play. We're taking over a Bitcoin miner. I love to hate these stocks. Kodak is a favorite of mine. They always pull this shit. Whenever there's anything hot, Kodak, right? It's like once a year, whatever the hot thing is, that is Kodak's new business. Remember, they were a COVID drug manufacturer for a while. Yeah, they were. Whenever these things happen, I love to smack them, love to call these stocks out. When the stock was still at $8, I bought $5 puts on the thing. They're expiring tomorrow. Mature thing to do would be to roll these or close the trade, up about 30% or so in it. But we're crowdsourcing this one. The show is just as much about entertainment as it is trade ideas. So we're letting it ride. It'll give us something to look at all day tomorrow. We'll see what happens. The line in the sand to watch on support.com right here. We got that hard bounce right off $4 on the dot. That's the low after that pop. If we zoom into today, these are now 1 minute candles, 1 day chart. You see right at $4 again. Somebody bid the thing back up. So that's the level I'm watching on support.com. Final check of the day. And Drew's coming on to say hi for a minute.
We got crypto starting.
Oh, it's good.
Let's
What's up, Drew? Are you still on Coinbase? Average price 400?
Yeah, no. I did not touch Coinbase. I'm not planning on it. Come on, Luke.
I know you're not. I'm not either. I'm on the sidelines, Drew. You know my Voyager Digital, my biggest stock position. It was the best performing stock I've ever owned. I'm out. I bombed it. When Coinbase couldn't hold the line, it couldn't hold that 381 open price line. That's when I bailed. I might get back into it, but we'll see.
Okay. Are you thinking any price in particular that you want to get in at? I mean, 21. I know it went all the way to 30, right under 30. I think like 29, right?
So I'm like the analyst of record on Voyager Digital. You're talking about Voyager, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I there's not really analyst coverage on the stock. So I always build, revenue estimates on this thing. I have been for the past several quarters, back that into valuation. So depending on where it's at, the time for me to get back into it would either be when it gets down to around 10 times sales, or we're heading into earnings. And I think that the expectations that are priced in are below, where we're at with the expectation for earnings are below where I'm coming in at. So that's my deal there on that stock. That'll be a fun one to watch. I know we'll keep watching Voyager, even though you're out of it now, Luke. We'll keep checking in on it. So, yep, free Kodak. Okay. All right, boys. Happy trading, guys. Again, if you're new to the channel, we do this every day. I'm on here from 12 to 2, usually with our CEO, Jason. He's gone. So we bought Buffalo Wild Wings for the office without him. But all right, guys, happy trading. Hit that subscribe button. We're about to kick it over to the crypto team and talk some of these nice crypto runners. Peace out, guys. I'm going to drop the socials in the chat. If you want to stay in touch, go ahead.
Smash that
Hit
like
our
button.
Twitters.
Smash that like.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. So, all right.
And stick around for crypto. We got Catherine. We got Aaron. They're doing crypto.
And don't buy support.com for my benefit.
We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Okay?
Oh, yeah. Quick producer note. Earlier, Luke said it was Friday. It's Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow for Friday for more Power Hour. ZingerNation.
All right.
Let's get it.
Guys.